Well, summer weather is officially here, and there's a really cool thing to do when the water temperatures get warm. There's a species of fish that swims in our freshwater lakes, rivers, and bays that becomes as consistently easy to catch as any species out there. We're going to teach you where they are, how to catch some of your very own, and how to have a bunch of fun with your family this summer. Fox Sports Outdoors is on the air right now.
It's time for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southwest region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
The very last species in fresh water to move up and spawn each and every year is the channel catfish. A cool thing happens though. Once he moves up shallow, lays her eggs, and he fertilizes them, the fish will hang around those shallow areas for a long time. As a matter of fact, most of the summer, and that makes them easily accessible for you and your family to go catch during all the warm weather months when the kids are out of school. On this week's episode, we're going to take the Tracker Pro Team 195 rigged out with the Mercury 154 stroke out and show you how to find channel catfish, the gear that you'll need to catch them, and some of the techniques that will work to put tasty, hard-fighting channel cats in your fish basket or on your stringer. While we're out doing that, we're taking you around the region for your very latest fishing reports from our expert team of insider reporters. Now, to demonstrate some of these techniques, we've brought you right in the middle of Dallas, Texas. This is Lake Ray Hubbard. We're going to talk about this location and several just like it because channel catfish are in almost every freshwater body of water in our region. Hey, this is going to be a lot of fun right now. We're going to get the Pro Team 195 launched down the boat ramp, get this started, but first we get you to the FSN studios for your weekend planner.
The Salinar tables are forecasting the best daytime game fish action of the weekend to occur in the afternoon on both Saturday and Sunday. Look for the sun to rise at 6:27 and set at 8:38. And the moon will be 28% illuminated. Stay with us for freshwater and coastal fishing updates from around the region. Plus, crappie expert Wally Marshall joins me to answer your Ask the Pro question. We'll be right back.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. Lose, fueled by passion, driven by innovation. Feel the difference. Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. And Strand Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability.
Got it, it's down, got him. Fish on! Hey, we got a good start right here. There we go, Mr. Whiskers right there. There's a channel catfish, and here's the deal about catfish this time of the year. They moved into these rocks to spawn and then they've never left. They stay there and they will stay there during all the warm weather months. So if you can find a place that's got either these boulder kind of rocks or flat rocks, rock riprap is just ideal. They've used the holes in the crevices and cracks in these rocks to spawn, and then they just hang around and feed as long as the water temperature is warm all through the warm weather months. If you can find rocks, you can find channel catfish, and you don't have to have a boat to do it. As long as you can walk along these rocks, you can pitch out there in fairly shallow water, and you can catch a few of those good eating sized channel cats just like that. I'll explain the difference between blues, channels, and flatheads coming up in just a little bit. Let's get you some fishing and lake reports to get things going.
Hey, our water temperatures are steamy here in Oklahoma, but that's okay. It's July, it's Oklahoma, and it's supposed to be that way. You can still catch fish. Now, if you've got a clear body of water and a calm day, you'll notice that around the stumps, the standing timber, the bridge pillars, you can see a lot of tiny, tiny bait fish in schools around those type of structures. If you're a crappie fisherman, use that to your advantage. You can downsize to a Bobby Garland itty bit swimmer right now and catch good numbers of crappie by doing that. You'll see how that compares in size to, say, the regular 2-inch Bobby Garland baby shad. Much smaller bait, but it closely matches what those crappie are feeding on right now. You can catch a lot more numbers if you downsize at this particular time. As far as striper fishing across the state, I checked in with my local striper expert, Robin Carpenter from KVOO Radio. She goes just about every weekend somewhere looking for stripers and hybrids. Went to Sooner Lake, caught this beautiful 25-pounder at Sooner, 45 feet deep, suspended in 65 foot of water on live shad. Said she also caught 8 hybrids and this really strange looking largemouth bass. I'm not really sure what's going on with this particular fish. She also said that reports from Keystone right now, the striper fishing has really heated up there. It's quite good in the Salt Creek Arm at Keystone Lake. Bass fishing, Charles Jewell says the lake to go to right now is Lake Murray. You can catch good numbers of smallmouth and largemouth on top water early in the day and late in the evenings. In the middle of the day, go deeper with those soft plastic baits. You can have a phenomenal fishing outing on Lake Murray. I don't care what lake you go to, you can't catch them if you don't go.
Bobber down, there it goes, got him. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, it's a good channel catfish for you right there. Let's talk about the difference between channels, blues, and flatheads. First of all, the blues will be the biggest, and they pretty much don't have dots on their sides. They're just a straight slate gray or bluish tinted color. Then the flathead catfish is kind of a longer, skinnier fish, and he has a flat head, basically. You can tell just by looking at him, kind of a mottled brown color. And then the channel catfish, the ones that we're fishing for today, are the smallest of the species. If you catch a 4 or 5 pound channel cat, you've caught a really good sized channel cat. And if you catch an 8 pounder, that's really a giant. They've got pretty much speckles or dots down their sides. They've got a deep forked tail. And you can tell the difference by counting the spines and the anal fin, but we won't even get into all that. You can pretty much tell by looking at one of these fish exactly which of the 3 species they are. The blues, the flatheads, tend to live more in open water and they eat bait fish, chase around big schools of fish. And the channels like these tend to be around cover, around the shoreline in much shallower water, docks, grass, rocks, that kind of cover. Okay, we're off to a really good start catching some good fish here today at Lake Ray Hubbard in Dallas. We'll be right back. There goes one, there goes one. Take out the slack, set the hook, got him. Alrighty, we have a contact with a fish. Hey, we're channel catfishing, everybody. There we go. Nice, fat, healthy channel cat. That would be a good keeper, a good eating fish. And by the way, on these channel cats, the smaller ones like this typically are the better eating fish. You get the biggest ones, which, by the way, a big channel cat's, you know, if you catch a 5 or 6 pounder, you've caught a whopper. And this is the good eating size right here. Those are 2 nice fillets right there. And those will eat really nice. Back he goes, not keeping him today. Well, I told you that I would give you some locations where you can catch channel catfish near you. And I don't want you to be limited to what I'm about to tell you, but I'm going to show you a list right now of some major lakes near some major metropolitan areas where you can go catch them. You can catch them off the shore. You can catch them from a boat. If you've got a john boat, a kayak, a 2-man boat, anything, you can catch these fish pretty much all summer long. Starting in the Southwest in Oklahoma, in Tulsa, the Arkansas River, and then that same river runs through Little Rock, right through the metropolitan part of town. In Shreveport, Louisiana, Cross Lake's a good channel cat lake. Huntsville, Alabama's Wheeler Lake is great. Jackson, Mississippi's Ross Barnett Reservoir is really good. In Atlanta, Georgia, Altoona is a real good one. And even small farm ponds, small rivers, small lakes will have a great population of channel catfish. You can catch them off the shore as well. Fishing and Lake Report time for you right now.
Hi folks, this week's Lone Star Lakes is brought to you by Catfish Bay Marina, the Lake Texoma Association, and Travel OK. Now this week we're here at beautiful Fin and Feather Resort on Toledo Bend Reservoir in Deep East Texas. We started our morning with buzzbaits and the ribbit frog, which both produced quite a few fish, fishing up the creeks around the shallow, flooded vegetation and emerging hydrilla and coontail that you'll find just off the creek channels in the shallows. Now, as soon as that bite dies out, put your buzzbait down, put your frog down, pick up your Texas rigged worm. We fished 3 different colors today: red shad, June bug, and a strawberry worm, all of them in a 10-inch variety with about a 1/4 inch weight. You're just throwing it into those grasses, let it sink, pick it up, put it back down, wait for the fish to bite, and keep that frog handy. If you have one of those cloudy, overcast type days, you'll still be able to catch frogfish up until noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon even. Now, Falcon Lake, although 40 feet low, is still putting out some pretty good fish right now. You can catch them on top waters early in the morning, but then it'll be ledges and edges and deep structure with your drop shots, your Carolina rigs, and your deep diving crankbaits. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by the Lake Texoma Association, Travel OK, and Catfish Bay Marina. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island, the fishing capital of Texas, where anglers enjoy pristine bays, estuaries, 18 miles of surf, and the deep blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Plus the local restaurants will even cook your catch come sundown. Come fish and play Texas Island style. For more information, visit portaransas.org. Well, the fresh water continues to abate from Upper Coast bays. On the south end of Sabine Lake, birds are working over feeding trout, and Lighthouse Cove has both specks and reds. The shorelines of West Galveston Bay and the reefs in Chocolate Bay continue to have a good trout bite. Unfair Lures Dog Walker in the morning has been a good choice. A 3.5-inch pearl chartreuse bass assassin on a 1/8 or 1/4 ounce jig head has been a good follow-up. Solid East Matagorda Bay trout have been hitting topwater lures and soft plastics over the mid-bay reefs. Cedar Bayou continues to show why it is such an important exchange with the Gulf. Specks in the surf as well as its channel and shorelines have kept anglers busy. Now the land cut is holding beautiful water and lots of solid trout that will hit Unfair Lures Dog Walker. Out of Port Mansfield, specks have shown a preference for a Yum Money Minnow on a light jig head fished over grass beds and sand pockets. Cream has been the preferred color. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
Got him. All right, I have a catfish. Whoa, feels like a little better pull. All right, a little bit better. Be real careful when you're handling them. They got those fins and they will get you. All right, we're gonna take a quick break, but I wanna show you real quick, a channel cat. That's a nice one. You can see the kind of goldish color, few little spots on its side, not many, and a deep forked tail. That's the main way you can tell a channel cat. That real deep fork in that tail right there is another way. Fishing a slip bobber rig. And I'm moving along here and I'm fishing like I would fish for crappie or bass. You can see this riprap here. And I'm flipping and pitching underhanded right along the drop-off edge, and I'm experimenting with different depths. Sometimes the fish will be up in 18 inches of water. Sometimes you got to set it 3-4 feet deep. Keep moving, experimenting until you figure it out. Once you do, you can catch a whole bunch. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Excite AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. Motor Guide Trolling Motors, because accuracy matters. Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Champions aren't born, they're made. And Fox Sports Outdoors is driven by Fort Worth Nissan and Lone Star Toyota.
Got it, it's down, got him. All right, channel catfish. Fight in here, buddy. All right. Well, we're out here rocking and rolling in some wind. And let me tell you, I mentioned earlier that this is a lot like bass fishing or crappie fishing, and here's what I mean by that. What I'm doing is I'm going along this rock riprap right here, pitching it in there, letting it sit for about 15, 20 seconds. If he doesn't bite it, I reel it back in, move about 10, 15, 20 feet down the bank, throw it in again, let it set for 15, 20 seconds. And I'm just repeating that process. If you fish off the shore, do the same thing. Walk a little ways, pitch it in there. If he doesn't bite it, walk a little ways again. And I'm gonna crash into the rocks right here, but again, it's not a deal. This is not your papa or your daddy's catfishing where you're just gonna take some beer and sit out there in a lawn chair and watch your corks for a while. This is a very active, proactive way to fish. And it's a way that you can cover a lot of water and you can literally find and locate the fish. So this one swallowed it. I'm gonna have to get the pliers after him, but let's get you some fishing and lake reports in the meantime.
This week I want to talk a little bit about brackish water fishing. I tell you what, whenever Kevin and I are pre-fishing for a Redfish Cup tournament, say we're down in Houma, Louisiana, a lot of areas in Houma, we get back into the marshes looking for these redfish, whether we throw in a Kellywigger or plastic, whether we throw in a spinnerbait, whether we throw in a Gold Johnson spoon. We're going to catch as many bass as we do big old redfish. Just yesterday, me, Captain Preston, Captain Carlos, and his daughter, we went down to Black Bayou. We were going down there looking for some redfish. Honest to Pete, we caught 18 bass and a half a dozen redfish. We caught more bass than we caught redfish. And to show you just how much fresh water we got right now, Captain Kevin and the guys with him that do go back in the marsh, every day they're bringing out big old freshwater catfish. And our redfish, they're loaded with red crawfish. So I tell you what, friends, whatever you do, don't hesitate on hitting some of these what we call brackish marshes, where you're going to catch bass and you're going to catch redfish. But if you're just looking for redfish or speckled trout, we got plenty of them. The redfish are in the marsh, like I said. Speckled trout are under the birds. Right now, when it's calm like today, they're offshore. Captain Kevin and Captain Carlos is offshore right now. They're catching some big old triple tail up to 20 pounds. So if the weather's pretty and it's calm and it suggests you going offshore, I would do it. You ain't gonna get seasick out there, I promise you.
Fish on! All right, we're whacking them now. Yeah, it's a good pull. That's a fatty right there. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break right here. Catching a lot of channel cats today on Ray Hubbard. We'll be right back.
Be sure to join Fox Sports Outdoors again next week, Thursday at 5:30, or catch the repeat airing Saturday morning at 8. And you can always watch the latest episode in full HD on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Plus, catch up on all past episodes by clicking the archive button, and see lots of how-to and product videos by clicking the how-to button. Also, stay up to date with the latest fishing news, videos, and photos by clicking the follow button on our Twitter feed, and get lots of that same info by clicking the like button on our Facebook page. Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Tracker Boats. It's more than just a boat, it's a tracker. Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there. Mercury Marine, official outboard of Fox Sports Outdoors. And Lowrance Electronics, find, navigate, dominate.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Ask the Pro segment, where viewers get expert insights from professional anglers. This week's question comes from Mark, who asks, I'm getting lots of nibbles when crappie fishing, but having trouble hooking and landing them. Any suggestions? For the answer, we checked with Mr. Crappie, Wally Marshall.
You know, sometimes when you're out there fishing and your bait is like 2 inches long, what I like to do is take off about a half an inch off the front of the bait. Most of the baits that I have on the market are a solid bait, and you can just cut off a little bit, make that bait shorter, shorten that up to where that fish is gonna have to get that hook. Don't have a lot of tail hanging out on the end, okay? But a lot of times in certain areas, you'll get that, that's brim, that's bluegill hitting it. But I know sometimes, like when they're letting water out of lakes and the fish get real finicky and they're just pulling at it, maybe use some kind of scent, maybe, you know, like that. Put something on your lure to really make them a little bit more aggressive. But I like to shorten my baits up to where they can get to that number 2 hook. It's powerful.
Thanks, Wally. If you have something to ask one of the pros, simply visit us online at foxsportsoutdoors.com and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit your question. Now it's time to give away a new pair of sunglasses on the Costa Catch of the Week.
Someone is a winner each and every week in the Costa Catch of the Week contest. And as always, we have a winner this week. He is David Kennard of Maysville, Oklahoma, showing an 11.4 pound largemouth bass he caught at Arbuckle Lake in Oklahoma. It was his only bite of the day, and it shows that it pays to hang in there. Here are some other bonus pictures. These are not winners, but they're great fish also caught at Arbuckle. Kevin Duncan with an 11.3, Erdy Mullins with a 10.5, Jared Carpenter with a 9.6, Ryan O'Rourke with a 9.4, Michael Jansing with an 8.2, Andrew Everett with an 8-1, and Leslie Duncan with an 8-pounder. If you'd like to be our next winner, all you have to do is go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. You need to be at least 18 years of age to enter and to win. And you can see all of the Costa frame and lens styles at their website. Go back to our front page and click on the Costa logo. There you can see all of the great 580 polycarbonate and glass lenses and all of the wonderful colored frames, including the frame that I was wearing on this week's episode. It's called Prop. Next up on the Academy Right Stuff, I'd like to show you the slip bobber rig that I always love to use to catch these channel catfish, especially during spawning time and anytime they're up shallow around these rocks. It begins with some kind of a bobber stop. There are several of these on the market. Academy carries several different ones. It's a stop that will keep your bobber from going any further up the line, and it controls your depth. Next up, we've got a slip bobber. It slides up and down your line and it hits that stop right there, and that's what actually controls the depth. Below that, I like to pinch on just a regular split shot lead weight. The weight of that depends on the wind and the depth and several other factors. And then below that, I like to use a treble hook. As far as the baits are concerned, you can use dip bait. We use that some today, like in that big tub. And then we also used plain old bait shrimp. You can buy that at most any bait store or bait shop near a lake. One other critical piece of gear is Stren Catfish Mono. It is made specifically to catch these catfish out of rocks, stumps, trees, docks, or any other gnarly obstacle that you'd like to horse a catfish out of. It comes in either an orange color if you're fishing really murky or muddy water, or it comes in a clear blue fluorescent color if you're fishing clear water like we were today. I am still appalled at how many times I am sitting in a restaurant or a bar or at a ball game and I watch someone drink a lot of alcohol for a long time, pay their tab, get up, get in their car, and drive out the parking lot. You would think after all of this time and all of these tragedies that we would learn, especially today with the ready availability of the ride-sharing services like Uber and Lyft, where you can get a quick and convenient and inexpensive ride right on your mobile device. I have someone very close to me that got a DUI very recently. It cost that person over $10,000 in court and attorney's fees and a lot of time and energy in remedial and educational courses and appearing before the judge. And even worse, it could be your son, daughter, mother, or father that encounters the next tragedy, the next victim of the next drunk driver. Get a designated driver, get Uber, get Lyft, and spare someone else and yourself all of that coming tragedy. We had a great day today. We never caught any really big channel catfish, but we caught fish all day long and we accomplished the goal, and that was to have a lot of fun and catch a lot of fish, and that's exactly what channel cats will do for you. We will see you on next week's episode right back here. Until then, I'm Barry Stokes saying be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.